All right, Steve Gregory is with a... Oh, look at him come through this door. Oh, my God. Is that body paint?
And now, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
Wow.
Steve Gregory, KFI News.
I guess you really like Captain America. He's got the cape on. His nipples are painted.
Fascinating stuff, Doctor.
It looks like a Speedo he has on with big boots. Steve Gregory, nice to see you, man. Fascinating stuff, Doctor.
Jaime Masada, the owner of Laugh Factory there in Hollywood, called a press conference today, collection of comedians showing their solidarity and support for Jerry Lewis to host the MDA telethon. And they had a number of comments about it. And just kind of getting into the press conference today, who walks in? Norm Crosby.
Hey.
Yeah, I was really surprised. And Norm's worked for many, many years on the telethon.
I like Norm Crosby.
Yeah, old friend of Jerry Lewis. So I'll play you real quick here. This is Norm Crosby, and this was kind of his statement afterwards. And then you hear me ask him a question at the beginning, and then you kind of hear the exchange.
Question, come on,
Mr. Crosby, real quick, what do you think happened in this case?
I have no idea. I called Jerry this morning, and he wasn't in. I left him, he would call me back. He's done that often. So I called again just before coming up here when Jamie called me and told me about this meeting, and he wasn't back yet. So I'm waiting to hear from him. I will probably know from Jerry, but I have no idea what happened. All I know is that I just wanted to make another point. We, like all of us, referred to the telethon as the Jerry Lewis telethon.
So
I never called it the MDA telethon. To me and to everybody else, it was always the Jerry Lewis telethon, and that speaks for itself. This man represented everything that everybody cared about. He was the guy that we could hold up to a pinochle. He was the guy that we respected, we cared about, and he was...
What happened?
Oh.
Did he die?
Did he... What? Norm, are you okay? Oh, man.
What?
Norm Crosby, the king of double talking. He wasn't doing any double talking at Jaime Masada's Laugh Factory today. He's trying to get...
What's the age?
You're I thought something happened to my audio.
Norm Crosby is fine.
I'm like, what the hell? What happened?
I thought he died. Sounded like he just died right there.
You can't do that to
Wait,
me.
play that back. Randy, play that part of it back. Let's see if what happened.
The guy that we could hold up to a pinochle. He was the guy that we respected. We cared.
Whoa!
Yeah, there he goes.
Can't do that.
Fellas, you know what I don't get, and this is the weird part of it. Labor Day is exactly 1 month away. If you're going to dump your host, don't you do it in January?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, this is something. I wonder what happened. What happened, Jerry? What happened?
Well, here you remember Tom Dreesen, right?
Right.
Yes.
Well, okay, here's Tom Dreesen explaining because we asked him the same question.
Jerry Lewis is a perfectionist. Any movie he did, any show he did, and especially the telethon, he was a perfectionist. I hosted out of Chicago. He would call me and tell me what he expected of me and when he was going to come to me, and he was always right. He was right on. Now, I suspect, if you want, this is my uneducated guess, that they may have come to Jerry. I'm guessing all this.
What? Wait a minute. Dreesen is down now?
Stop that.
Dreesen died too?
Come on.
All right.
Doing that to my audio.
I know, that's enough. All right, so...
Oh, no. Believe me, Steve, he can. He can. Don't say that. Because he'll do it.
Off guard here because I keep thinking something's wrong.
All right, so what? So did we get to the bottom line on why
I'm
Jerry
all
Lewis...
screwed up here.
Why is Jerry Lewis not doing the telethon? Did anyone have an idea?
No one knows.
All right.
But one comedian did say if they hear the name Seacrest come out of this, that they're burning Hollywood down. I do want to...
That would be great.
I do want to play for you.
All right, but let's play the exchange. We don't have time for the exchange, but let's set that up. No, but we'll do it. Can you stay for another segment?
I'm all yours, Tim.
Okay. Now, but setting up the fight or the argument that you had with the TMZ reporter, what was going on there?
Well, Larry Miller, the comedian actor.
Very funny guy.
Yeah, I asked him a question, and he was at this thing today, too. Well, prior to that, this guy named Brody something or other, Brody Stevens or whatever.
With TMZ.
Well, he says he's with TMZ. I haven't confirmed that.
I think everybody's with TMZ if you have a camera.
So he says he hosts some stuff on there, and he's an actor. He's been in Hangover or whatever. And he made a statement earlier, too, but then he kept interrupting these comedians.
Larry Miller.
Yeah, and then I had finally had enough. And then you can hear the exchange because I was trying to get him to shut up so we could do our jobs.
What is Larry Miller's, at the end of his act, If the jokes aren't funny, it's free. Is that it?
I don't know if he's still using that.
If the jokes aren't funny, it's free.
Oh, that's Larry Bud Miller.
That's Sit and Sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Different Larry.
Different Larry Miller.
Larry Miller's a talented
All right,
actor.
when we come back, we'll talk more with Steve Gregory and of an on-air fight. Well, actually, it was taped, but we'll play it for you. Steve Gregory had an argument with a TMZ reporter, and the TMZ reporter happens to be a fan of the show, so I'm not taking sides on who was right.
Oh, come on,
wrong.
you got to back up Steve.
I don't know. All right, it's Tim Conway Jr. and Doug Stekler. Conway and Stekler with Steve Gregory on KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.
Fascinating stuff, Doctor.
When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high and don't
Be afraid of the dark.
It's funny you say that as well.
At the end of the storm is a golden sky.
Fascinating stuff, Doctor.
And the sweet silver song of a lark.
Big finish.
Walk on through the wind. Walk on through the rain. Though your dreams be tossed and blown.
Here we go, everybody. Jerry Lewis is how he ends the telethon.
Walk on.
Walk on.
Walk on. With hope in your heart. And you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Seacrest, everybody.
Jerry Lewis is one of the greats. He is indivisible from the telethon. I don't know what it's going to be without him. I don't know what the MDA people are trying to do, attract a younger audience. I find it strangely impossible that they let this guy go after decades of service.
It must have been something he did.
With a month to go, 1 month to go before the telethon.
Maybe they'll have James Franco and Anne Hathaway.
There's a duo.
Yeah. He's famous or
From
infamous, right, of being a complete a-hole, though.
He can be.
Yeah. All right, it's Conway and Stekler on KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Steve Gregory is with us, and maybe they should go with somebody like a Ryan Seacrest or somebody younger and newer, and bringing that young audience in with those young dollars.
Well, if you hadn't killed Norm Crosby, you would have heard in there him addressing him being a diva.
I see. Okay.
I wanted to ask Steve, was it your impression that any of these guys, I don't want to suggest something untoward, but that any of these guys that showed up, ostensibly in support of Jerry at the Laugh Factory, do you think any of them were trolling for the gig?
Ooh, interesting.
Oh.
Interesting stuff, Stekler.
You know what? I did not get that from them. I really didn't.
Fascinating stuff, Douglas.
Fascinating. All right, let's get into the fight you had with the TMZ guy. Why are you fighting these guys?
Tim.
What's going on with you?
I managed to take this serious story and you just completely shred it.
Okay.
By the way,
all right. Let's find out why you had an argument.
It was just
he interrupted your story.
Larry Miller, good actor, comedian. He was up there. I wanted to know from him what he thought happened to Jerry Lewis and why the exchange, or why the this separation happened. And you kind of hear it. And then this guy that I was telling you about earlier, he was already making a statement, but then he kept piping in on stuff, and I'd finally had it. So maybe you can make this out.
Here it is. Steve Gregory fighting the TMZ reporter.
My connection is like everyone. It's just watching it as a kid, watching it as you grow up, watching as he sang the song at the end and got really tired and wondering, is he going to make it this year or something? Now, you know what? Again, things change, so they'll make money on the Internet. But, yeah, you should, there ought to be at least a gold watch or something instead of... You change the locks on the doors? Just here's your hat, what's your hurry?
What do you think happened?
Well, actually, I'm not supposed to say. No, look, all I know is when Jamie calls, it's a good thing to come down for. I don't know any more than you know what happens, but if it's worth front page article in the Times, I guess I guess he's not coming back. Who knows what it is? Things change. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that in show business.
Larry, he can come back. Believe. We're saying just for an hour. Get him out there.
Let Mr. Miller.
Oh,
I'm on TMZ, by the way. So you want me to talk to?
On KFI.
Oh, well, I don't care. Jamie brought me here.
He brought me here too.
This is
I'm on the marquee.
This is a good time to say thank you and goodbye.
Oh, God.
I love Larry Miller wrapping it up.
Yeah, but I like Larry Miller having to deal with the two of you. You know, he's a very funny, famous comedian, and then he's
I had a job to do.
You get these two guys, having a blank measuring contest. Hey, all right, so nobody knows why. Larry Miller doesn't know why, or you think he knows why?
No one knows why.
Then why would they call this big press conference if nobody's going to say why?
Well, I think they were just trying to put pressure, and they want to encourage people to flood the MDA phones and email with people wanting them to ask Jerry to come back. They at least want him to be able to come back on this telethon and do some sort of a goodbye, and do some sort of a wrap-up or a closure, something like that. They said that's the least that they should do.
I wonder how bad this is, guys, because it could be as bad that they won't even do a montage of Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
he could be completely wiped off and completely disassociated with the MDA telethon.